Yes. All right. I see that. I see game audio coming through. Hello. Welcome to Casual Mondays. We had a rough start. I've had some weird audio things happening lately with the beginning of streams. Anyway, Chase, we're playing Patch Quest. What did you say this was?
So I said, for people who aren't familiar with this game, this is a roguelite, but I'd say it combines parts of Binding of Isaac, especially in the way that you're kind of shooting and going through these kind of I wouldn't say these are Zelda-like dungeons exactly, but they kind of have that similar feel. So you're mixing a little bit of Binding of Isaac, a little bit of Cult of the Lamb, where you're kind of bringing things back, or maybe even like a loop hero in that sense too, where you're kind of coming back to a central hub and upgrading that. And then there's like a little bit of Pokemon in here too, in that these monsters that you're finding in the world, you can you literally lassoed one of them, and that's why you're on this spider now. So you kind of get to mount these creatures, and they level up and get new abilities, like this Silk Stream that you just got.
Hell yeah.
So it's a neat game. Bobby also mentioned in the quiet time of this episode that we have a quick look of this game. It'll be coming out later this week. Thursday. So, but we had enough fun doing the quick look that we thought, you know what, let's bring this in for Casual Mondays, because it's just it's a cool, new hotness for us. Yeah,
it's really neat. It seems like it combines a lot of things that, like, collectively we at the Casual Hour enjoy. I have Johnny checking it out as well right now. We have a shared library. I'm like, hey man, this game plays really well on your Steam Deck. I think it'll scratch that run base itch that you have. I don't think Johnny's playing anything on that right now, or in that style, I should say. Yeah, and he was into it.
And it's great for Johnny because he doesn't have to finish it, because he can't finish games.
That's true.
And this is, I mean, being a run-based game, this isn't really, I mean, I guess there's probably an end to this in that you go to the different places, but I mean, Johnny will never see it.
So I got this one that's going to let me do, it'll spawn out spiders now whenever I use my ability, which I get these little baby spiders that come out, which is really cool. I like the spider a whole lot. I've been meaning to capture one to bring back to base, and I will keep an eye on doing so, because I'm about to lose this one from getting tired. So I might actually do that right now and grab an armadillo. I'm going to send the spider to camp. All right, he goes away. Let's grab this armadillo with the baseball hat on.
And you can send as many creatures as you want back to camp, right?
You can hold 6, and I don't know if it gives you the option that, like, hey, send one of these to your PC type thing from Pokemon. And I can call in. Let me kill this guy and I'll show you. I have the ability to call in any of the amounts that I've previously claimed. So I've got, I can just hold this, and like, you can pull them in. They'll come up here, but they'll get tired and they'll go back to camp as well. Let me check this really quick. So I'm heading the right way. I think I need to go up, actually. Yeah, I want to get over to that question mark. Can I hop there is the question. Let's keep cruising. Can I go over to the right? We'll find out. I am feeling somewhat risky though, and I think I will increase our health, and I'll go ahead and increase that to 5 because I'll get some more health here. What do these peaches do again? Rifle? So I think I have shotgun right now. I don't have shotgun, I have burst. Okay, we'll go with that. Chase, I also, because of Johnny, have been playing another game.
Oh.
I've been playing Octopath Traveler 2. When I say playing, I've maybe
damn it.
I was gonna say, maybe I got an hour in. Because I didn't play the demo. All right, I was gonna play the demo. I told you I was gonna check it out, so we could talk a little bit more at length about that. And then Johnny's like, I bought this game. It fucking rules. I'm like, all right, man. I'll check it out. Like, I trust Chase on this one.
I told you it sucks, but you believe Johnny more than me. I guess.
No. This is I told him. Chase and I both did not like the first one.
Yeah.
I thought it had a strong demo. If y'all remember, I was really into the demo. I think you were in the demo as well.
I was, except for the same thing, that the enemies were too
squishy.
Well, the opposite of squishy. They took too much damage.
And I have only put in, like I said, about an hour. And the same thing there's like it's a slow start. I mean, that's not unusual for JRPGs, but
sure. Who'd you start with?
I am the Huntress.
Okay.
I thought having a little companion friend would be kind of cool. And the other thing that I like about her is that she can capture beasts in battle, and then she can bring them out in battle, or she can sacrifice them and turn them into jerky to feed the people in the village. So, you know, all in a day's work, right?
I mean, hearing Johnny talk about that more to me, he went with the kind of standard warrior katana wielding dude.
Yeah.
It is possible. I'm willing to put this out here. It's possible that the thief is just a bad place to start.
Sure.
Because Johnny said he did not seem to feel the same about his boss that he had to do.
He's very into that character, and he said he made short work of the boss as well.
Yeah.
I have not found my battles to be like, I've honestly stomped most of the people I fought against.
So same, yeah. It's even with the thief character, I was killing everybody until I got to the end of that boss fight, or I got to that boss fight, and then it was just ridiculous. And maybe it is just that I have the thief, but even when you start with a different character, when you go and find a second character, you still have to go. I mean, I guess you don't have to, you can just skip it, but then why are you playing the video game if you're just going to skip it? When you meet a new character, they give you the option, hey, do you want to see this character's backstory? And if you say yes, you go and you play their, like, what you would play what they would have as the beginning of the game for them.
Yeah, it's just basically it starts over, right?
Right. You play this little solo mission, and then you come back to the group.
Damn, there's a lot
and you
here.
go, and that's how my story started.
It's like record scratch moment. You probably wonder how I ended up here, don't you?
Yeah, basically. And you can defer those. You can say, okay, well, I don't want to do this right now, but we'll come back and I can do it later. So I guess I'm interested to see now if Johnny or you continue playing that game and get far enough where you meet the thief and play the thief's intro. I wonder if that's just a really hard one to start with, and maybe I just went with the worst one. It's possible, but knowing how I felt about that first game and seeing how this follow-up started, at least with the thief, I just have no confidence in that game. I'm glad Johnny's having fun. I'm glad it sounds like you're enjoying the parts that you've played.
I mean, dude, I've played so little of it. But what I'll say is, I'm gonna take that rose, by the way. I don't know how much. Like, well, first of all, I would not have bought this game right now, even if it was probably like if I loved the first one, maybe I would have already grabbed this one. But Johnny picking it up certainly has been like a zero effort for me to check something out. And I've got a lot that I am enjoying quite a bit right now. So we'll see how it continues to go. But for our show, the nature of what we do, streams, quick looks, all that stuff, I figured I might as well check it out with him and see what that's all about. Okay, boar greens and grasses, they're nomad people talk. Okay, a little back lore for this area. That's all right. Haven't encountered one of those yet. I'm trying to make my way over. We're going to run into some sort of like blockade, and that's going to be a problem for us. But I'm trying to get over to this question mark because I want to know if that's going to help me unlock like the blocked exit for this location or what. So we'll see how that goes. Feeling risky. Got full health again. let's increase that there, and let's do a little bit on dodging. Chase, you and I have talked at length about the early 2000s, and
sure.
Tonight,
yes.
So Sarah and I have been going back through a lot of early 2000s movies. Like if we're like, hey, I don't really feel like putting effort into what we're watching, I want to passively watch something, we usually go with like an early 2000s comedy, and then we'll have the discussion of like, that one, you know, that was still funny, or this one, no, but most of them assuredly could not be made today. And boy howdy, we watched Waiting, which I worked in the service industry for a very long time.
Sure.
I really thought that movie depicted working in a restaurant at that time of my life very well. Having said that, that movie does not need to be watched in the Lord's year of 2023. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah, I can believe that.
A lot of very bad things that they just casually say multiple times over.
Yeah. I think maybe if you wanted something in that vein that was I guess less problematic or less that you could feel good about, I might go back and check out Party Down, the television show. Party Down,
they just have a new
great
season.
show, and they're coming back with a reunion thing. So it's a great time to catch up on that. But yeah, Party Down's about caterers in LA, and everybody's trying to be an actor. But when they're not acting, they're in this catering job that sucks. But yeah, I think that's got a lot more heart to it, but still kind of depicts a lot of the same shit that you deal with.
I mean, look, it's bad, dude. It's very, very, very bad. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to say that like I look back with rose-tinted glasses, because like when there's shit that comes out from that period of my life, I'm like, yeah, man, we had it wrong. Luckily, we all like wisened up on how we should be acting. But holy shit, man, this one I was just like, fuck me, this is like, this is rough.
I imagine it's probably a little bit like trying to watch those first seasons of Always Sunny.
It's a lot like trying to listen to Adam Sessler on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, that's man, that one bummed me out. I met him at a PAX. He seemed like a very nice dude.
I know, like I watched all that shit.
Shockingly short. I'm not here to say. I'm not here to like say, oh, he's short, so obviously he's a dick. But oh, hello, Jiggy. But dude's a tiny man. Yeah. I used to be a big fan.
I did too, man. Like
X-Play was great. That was the time in my life where I like those opinions really mattered to me.
Yep.
And
can't get through.
And one, those opinions just don't matter to me anymore. And two, oh boy, he's got some thoughts on the world these days that I am not. Well,
it's not only that, man. It's all right. We went the wrong way. It's the doubling down for me.
Yeah.
It's again, as I mentioned, we all came from a very similar time period where like there was just a lot more social acceptance to dumb bad shit, and I just feel, hey, you got called out on some shit that needs to be called out. Let's talk about it. And god damn, dude, he just like did not do it.
Yeah, I mean, we all make mistakes.
Absolutely.
That's something that happens to all of us, and I think it really starts to show character when with how you respond to making those mistakes.
Yes.
And you can either be a kind of person who is understanding and willing to listen, and I get wanting to be defensive. It sucks to be called out in something, like you feel like you're being shamed. I get all that, but there is there's trying to take something with grace and learn about it and make a better outcome for everyone involved, or there is only trying to make yourself feel better and making other people feel shittier because you've already done something that was shitty to begin with.
Yeah, dude.
Man, he made what I consider the wrong choice.
Well, and look, I don't know from a professional sense, like how that I don't know how much he was really forced to just regurgitate bullshit that was on the teleprompter for him. But the whole, hey, I just said what they write mentality type shit is just fucking, come on, man.
Yeah, I think that's a bad excuse. Like you had a lot of sway.
Yeah.
You continue to have a lot of sway, and to use that sway in a way that is not continuing to help people is kind of rough.
Yeah, man. Look.
Ooh, Jiggy. That is a salient point there. X-Play wanted to be South Park, and it aged as well as South Park did. I was never a big South Park fan, but I can't imagine trying to watch South Park now, or like watch those seasons of South Park now. Maybe South Park has changed in a way, or maybe it hasn't.
The whole, I don't know how deep down the tweet thread either one of you have gone down with the guy that was basically calling out the review that's all over Twitter right now. And somebody in there had made a comment, and I thought that the author of the tweet in question had made a point. He's like, let me pause this really quick. He was essentially saying that for if you were really into that sort of thing, like X-Play was one of the only spots that was in a very public way talking about things that were your interest. And at the time, there wasn't podcast
on television.
It was on television.
No
You'd walk into GameStop, it would be there. And so I think that for a lot of us who grew up in that time period, it was nice to have representation of your interests in a way that felt like it didn't. I don't want to say it was like how we were all talking, but there was a pacing, and it felt unlike other types of beats. Like I read all the magazine stuff. We've talked about magazines on this show in deep dives. However, it just seemed like a safe place at the time for refuge almost. So like, hey, this is a place you can go and hear about new shit you're into. There's bits focused on like the humor that you might get from some of this good, bad, or indifferent. And it just sucks that it has not aged to that degree.
Yeah, I mean, it was G4 as a whole was really, really important to me growing up because I had a computer, but we didn't have internet for the longest time at my house. So to have a place where I could, have access to people talking about video games was a rare thing for me. And even when I did have access to internet places like like at school, like that was a time in the internet where trying to download or stream video was a
life choice.
Right, you weren't getting. You'd have to, like, it's one of those things. Once we finally did have internet at home, it's like, okay, if I want to download this episode of Naruto, definitely legally,
yes.
Like I would have to leave that on and then go to bed. And then maybe it would be done by the time I woke up. Maybe it wouldn't be done by the time I came back from school the next day.
I don't want to tell you how long I waited to download the Spider-Man 2 trailer.
Oh, sure, absolutely, and that's a fucking trailer. So that was the thing, is like having just a television channel you could go to and see people talking about this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like for me, Attack of the Show was maybe the coolest thing. That was my life there for a bit. I loved those sketches. I remember when I was able to download things, like I remember downloading just the sketches and having something like Home Row. When Kevin Rose is hitting people with a keyboard. I remember having that downloaded to my iPod video and watching that a lot.
Hell yeah.
And it was a hell of a time. But
hell of a time, hell of a thing.
We're just at a point where that stuff doesn't age, and you it doesn't age well, and you've seen that, I think, with with G4 kind of trying to come back in the form that it did, and not doing well with it. I think there's just not an appetite for that stuff because we have a much different landscape right now that just doesn't need it. It was a product of its time, and that time is over.
I can't think of the developer's name right now. He's working on Thirsty Suitors. I don't know if you've seen that. It's a really slick, hyper stylized game.
Name's familiar, but no.
He retweeted the guy calling out Sessler's review, and he I guess at the time Sessler wrote a review for one of his games and said it was just the Malaysian Team Fortress 2, and that was supposed to be a dig based off of like the quality of it. Yeah. And he actually like approached Sessler about it, and that's when he gave kind of the like, oh, I just say what they tell me to say type thing. All right, really quick to get back on track for the game, to get back to this. Hang on, what's Jiggy say? Be me in 2002 and using a VCR to tape Adult Swim weeknight anime block. There you go. We get to choose a perk because we just leveled up. I've chosen the Shockwave Vest, which will send out a blast if I take damage. And then I also got the Diamond Fibre, I think is how you say that. Fibre.
It's fiber.
Fiber. Oh my God.
It's a European spelling of fiber.
Okay. Thank you, Chase. Appreciate you.
No problem.
Anyway, I got that thing that I can't say and spell or read, and I'm an idiot. But
I was listening to a YouTube video today, and somebody was reading this IGN review of Destiny 2 Lightfall, which already was pretty sad. I mean, I'm watching it, so I'm sadder, I guess. But yeah. They got to the word trapes, and
was that a thing?
They butchered it so hard. It's like triapsy, and I'm like, oh God, oh no! This man's never heard of trapes before.
Words can be tough.
Words can be tough. I get it. I'm in the business of words, so I'm slightly better at it than a lot of people. But, poof, yikes.
Hey Jiggy, do you like spiders? If you like spiders, you can name this one. Otherwise, we're going to keep it at standard. Its given name. But considering you're here with us,
big spider fan.
Big spider fan.
What are we calling it, Jiggy?
This one likes sticky. It likes silks. He's got a little crown, and he only has 3 eyes. What are you naming him?
I mean, shouldn't have more than 3.
You would think. It's probably about, what, 5
they have
short?
Compound eyes?
I thought they had 8.
No, they have 8 legs. I don't think they have an eye for each leg. Arachnobob. Let's go for it.
Arachnobob. There we go. May he live in infamy. So we got... I'll put this rose over here. Oh, that's more of a hill thing. Wait, no, it wasn't.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go. I said to put the hot dog plant back down. My bad.
No. Speaking of the weeknight anime block, I didn't want to say anything, but I
knew as soon as I read it, I knew it was coming.
I kept hoping that it would happen. Jiggy, give me a number between 1 and 31, please.
1 and 31, he says.
24. Okay.
Back on the run. Jiggy, by the way, as he's looking that up, have you seen anything on this game? I don't know if this is your shit or not, but I think it's pretty cool. Nice little run-based game with some creature collection. And this is one of my favorite perks. Speaking of spiders, if I kill the little guys with this perk, they become my buddies for the time being.
Nice.
And I like this one a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah, I bet so.
This is just a cool game, man. I'm really digging this one.
It is, yeah. This is a Patch Quest.
Patch Quest, yep.
Yeah, pretty good. Also pretty good is this anime. Well, I guess I don't know personally. I have not watched it. I wouldn't say it's like a shame or anything. It's not one that a ton of people have watched to my knowledge, but it's supposedly great anime. I would love to watch it someday. I did participate in this anime in a bit because it was part of Super Robot Wars T,
Okay.
If that gives you a hint, Bobby. Bobby, your anime, which aired April 1st, 1983, not a fool, not a joke, but it did air April 1st, and went to March 23rd, 1984, is an action drama sci-fi show called Armored Trooper Bottoms. Bobby, what's Armored Trooper Bottoms about?
I'm assuming that Bottoms is going to be some sort of variation on a robot. I have to assume, or like some sort of Calgary, or maybe it's part of a brigade, a Bottom.
Okay.
If I had to guess. So I would, and this is also the 80s. You said 80s anime adventure, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
All right.
Adventure, drama, sci-fi.
Oh, then it's absolutely some sort of robotic suit that there's a person in. So a Bottom is, I'm going to say, I'm sticking with my first gut. This is a special class or a special core of mech.
Okay.
And
what's special about it?
They're a heavy artillery unit.
Okay.
Because you said they're armored, right? Armored core?
Armored Trooper Bottoms is the name.
Yeah, Armored Trooper. So I would say that they are a specialized heavy artillery crew that I don't have a mount for this, by the way. I do not have a beast helping me. I should have grabbed one of those. Anyway.
Yeah, you're kind of getting fucked up over here.
This is, again, a special unit that they're following that is out to take on a very tried and true 80s ass fucking boss. Just like megalomaniac, wants to poison all the water in the galaxy unless he gets money type guy. That tech does start to take off. There's advancements because of what they're chasing that has taken out standardized mechs where they are not nearly as effective at this. There's a unit that's gone through specialized training. They've got futuristic tools that they got through some sort of weird wormhole portal through exploration that they've been able to bring into their mecha to take out this real bad dude. And that is what the anime is. It's just following those guys.
Does the real bad dude have a name?
Not that I can think of. No, nothing. Nothing's sticking out. I'm not getting anything, I should say.
Fair enough. Well, Bobby, I feel like I gave you a pretty good hint there with me having played them in Super Robot Wars. So yes, it is absolutely a mech show.
Okay.
Let's read through this here.
Was I right that they're a special unit or like a heavier unit at least?
They're not heavy. Okay. And also they're not called, the robots are not called Bottoms. They are called Scope Dogs, which is one of the best names for a mech I've ever heard. The fucking Scope Dog is so cool. It's a very tiny, speedy looking thing.
Okay.
I would say a Scope Dog is like an R2-D2 with arms that you can ride in. That's kind of what they look like. They're great.
I'm down for that.
They're so good. Anyway, a century of bloodshed between warring star systems has plunged nearly 200 worlds into the flames of war. Now an uneasy truce has settled across the Astragalus galaxy. Shiriko? I think it's Shiriko. I don't think it's Shirako. I think it's Shiriko. Shiriko Kube. Kiriko. No, wait, it's Kiriko. It's Kiriko. That's Kiriko. Right. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Names are not words. I can mispronounce them.
It's easy to do.
Yes. Kiriko Kuve, a special forces powered armored pilot, is suddenly transferred into a unit engaged in a secret and highly illegal mission to steal military secrets from their own military. Now he's on the run from his own army. Hey, this synopsis is very funny. Unsure of his loyalties and to cover their own tracks, Kiriko is left behind to die in space. Surviving by luck, the renegade is now hunted by both the conspirators and military intelligence. He is driven by the haunting image of a mysterious and beautiful woman, the object of their mission, and his sole clue to unraveling their treacherous scheme. But the conspirators will do anything to preserve their mysterious agenda.
Well, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't they?
So I have not seen Armored Trooper Bottoms. I have heard it's an amazing show. I know I would absolutely love this thing. I'm in the middle of some other pretty good shows right now, but it is high on the list of stuff that I would like to watch. I would say in terms of mech anime, I really want to see, it would go Bottoms, Macross, and then maybe Heavy Metal Elgime.
Listen, if I was going to do some sort of like, rap trio with you,
yeah,
we would be called the Soggy Bottom Boys, and that's that.
Okay.
That's that. All right.
I don't hate it. Yeah. I watched the first episode of Macross and liked it. I need to keep doing it. There's also a lot of Macross. They made a lot of Macross shows. Bobby, have you ever heard of something called Robotech?
Robotech.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, you don't have to.
I'm gonna die.
But when they brought over, so they didn't translate this show called Macross completely. I guess there was some licensing stuff, or maybe they were just trying to do it more cheaply. But when they brought over Bottoms, or sorry, not Bottoms, when they brought over Macross, they dubbed it with a different. God, help me out here, Jiggy. Like they changed the show. They like took two different shows and slapped them together. One of them was Macross, and they were like, "Oh, this is not Macross. This is Robotech. This is a completely new thing." I don't know how. Yeah, they completely changed the story. Like between seasons, I think they changed to a different anime and go like, "Oh, well, this is still the same Robotech." And I don't know how you do that when all of your characters have changed. I don't know. This is to say, probably don't watch Robotech. Just watch Macross instead, because Macross is the good one, and it has subtitles, and you can totally do that. I did buy. It was when the FYE around here was going out of business.
Oh yeah.
I bought the giant DVD box set of Robotech because it was like $5.
Nice.
And I'm like, I'm never going to watch this, but I think it's cool to have this giant Robotech box.
Yeah, Robotech is a cool name.
It's a cool name. They also made a Robotech game for the GameCube. It might be on other stuff as well, but I just remember seeing it for the GameCube. I never played it, but it was one of those full page ads that you'd see in Game Informer, and the robot was so cool. I was like, oh, I should play this game. Jiggy's saying it was on the PS2 and Xbox as well. I think I've looked up some reviews, and people are like, it wasn't all that great. But just looking at that ad made me so excited. I remember that ad, and I remember the ad for a game called Kinetica. Have you ever heard of Kinetica?
I think I have heard of Kinetica.
Kinetica, also not a very good game, but it's a futuristic racer, but the racers wear these like metal armory suits that are like super slick looking suits. Like remember when we did the Sparrow racing in Destiny?
Yes, it was like the one like same suit for everybody.
Yeah, so it's like those sleek looking suits, but they'd have wheels on their hands and feet, and so they would kind of like lay out.
Weird.
And their hands would come together as one wheel, and their feet would go together in the back as the second wheel, and the idea of that was so cool. So it's just like a futuristic luge racer where you're luging around, but then you hit jumps, and your character could like separate their hands and legs and do tricks and stuff, and then they'd slap them back together. And the idea of Kinetica, and I remember it had a full page spread, and it's just like this woman racer with like enough armor on that she looked cool, but also not enough armor, so she looked sexy. And she just like was over this spread of 2 pages, and it was one of the coolest looking ads, and I kept thinking,
sounds dangerous.
Man, I need to play this game, but it was only on PS2, and I eventually did play it and went, oh, this is not very good. But the idea of Kinetica is still so fucking cool to me. It's like Kinetica and Automodelista. Like those are the pinnacle of racing aesthetic. To me.
We're never gonna get another Automodelista, are we?
No, absolutely not. Like, it's so dead and buried. But man, what if we did? What if we did?
We talked about it on our quick look. I mean, I really liked that new Need for Speed. I just wish the whole thing would have been cell shaded.
Yeah,
I thought that would have been awesome. Oh, I'm itchy.
Oh, Kinetica was published by Sony and made by their Santa Monica studio.
Interesting.
Sony, if you want to move some PS5s, you need to make a Kinetica 2. God damn it!
I want to talk about it this week on the show, but now that quote unquote PS5s and Xbox Series X are readily available, I think it's time that we stop bringing stuff out on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One.
Oh, I mean, we kind of did, right? What was it that we talked about on the preview? Was it the new Resident Evil, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah. Bobby, is there like a good way for me to send you an image to show on the stream?
Not really.
Okay.
I can pull up something. I don't know if I have. I mean, I can add a window in really quick. Let me pause this.
Yeah, I don't need to.
I think I can do this pretty easily. Give me a second here.
Okay.
Why don't you just tell me what to look up? Or
I mean, can I send you a link?
yeah, put it in something on Notion.
Notion, sure.
Let's go down the bottom underneath the calendar.
Gotcha. There you go.
Okay. Oh, okay. Let me add a window.
Oh, damn, it's such an evocative image. Look at that. Look at that shit.
It's pretty cool.
Like sexy armor racer lady with wheels on her feet and hands.
It's like a cool version of what's his name from Twisted Metal.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'm very good at racing games, but man, I love these games. I also played a lot of Extreme G3, like futuristic motorcycle racing one.
That one's rad.
Yeah. Yes, Jiggy, they absolutely were going after the Extreme G audience. Man. Do you remember Blur?
The band?
No, the racing game.
Oh. Maybe
Or was Blur? Was Blur the game or was Blur the publisher? No, it was a game. Yeah, that was the game. Like if it took real cars, yeah. As Jiggy said, it's Mario Kart with real cars.
Oh.
Like they were real cars. I think they were licensed cars, but it had like a power-ups around the field. Blur came out around the same time as Split Second. Do you remember Split Second?
No.
Split Second fucking ruled. Split Second was developed by Disney, I think, the same people who made Disney Infinity.
Okay.
So Split Second was kind of like a Burnout racer, like not Burnout Paradise Open World like Burnout 3, where you're going around these tracks. But as you went around, you were able to trigger these different events on the track, which could be things like it all felt like real Hollywood stunt stuff. So it was like, you can
cool.
trigger this wrecking ball to start going. So now the wrecking ball would come behind you and maybe crush some of the racers behind you, or you could cause like an earthquake or something, and it would cause the track to kind of split into, so now people would have to go one way or the other way, or something could fall and crush into the track, so everybody would have to avoid it. And it was so fast. It was so fast and cool.
Faster than Sonic?
I was well, I mean, he's the fastest thing alive, so I don't know about that, but man, it was a cool game. I remember they made a PSP version of it too.
Of Fast?
Of Split Second.
Okay.
Yeah. Man. Yep. Old ass racing games, man. Back when they did cool different stuff. Nowadays, it's just, oh, let's make another pretty good Forza Horizon and call it a day.
But Wreckfest, that's a game.
It's true. You know what? That's true. Wreckfest is good. I'm a big fan of Wreckfest. And you're getting it, I guess, more in the indie space. Like
yeah.
Certainly Nintendo's not making another F-Zero, but did they publish or help out with Redout? Maybe, I think that's the name of the game.
That sounds familiar.
And that was kind of like an F-Zero style game.
Yeah.
Jiggy saying the world's ready for another Ridge Racer. I agree.
Hell yeah.
I have.
Give me another Cruising USA.
Sure. Give me don't give me another Outrun, but just give me the original Outrun again.
Yeah.
I don't want a new one. I just want the old one. Yeah, Cruising USA. How about you give me a San Francisco Rush?
Hell yeah, man.
San Francisco Rush 2049. Hell yeah. Was it 2049?
It was very good.
It was 20.
And this second area is long.
Rush. It is 2049. God, just imagine, Bobby. We're gonna live to the year 2049, and when we do, let's make a pact here tonight.
Yes.
January 2nd, 2049. Not first, because it'll be nursing a hangover from our huge New Year's party.
Yes.
But January 2nd, 2049. We're gonna play some San Francisco Rush 2049. You know what? Actually, never mind. The first Monday of 2049, of the year 2049, we're gonna do a casual Monday, because of course we'll still be doing this in 16 years.
Help us, humanity.
Oh no, it's more than 16. It's 26, right?
Yes, 26
years. Jesus Christ. So yes, 26 years from now, on a Monday, we'll play San Francisco Rush 2049 somehow,
some way,
and stream it somehow.
It'll be in our.
You think Twitch will still be a thing in 26 years?
Twitches maybe, but not this.
Are we streaming? Are we streaming like directly to people's minds instead of to computers at this point?
There's no physical anything. Yeah. It's all Lawnmower Man.
Are we going to be? Maybe we're going to stream from Mars, from the Elon Musk Memorial Hall at Mars.
I don't hope anymore. I saw. Speaking of bad, did you see the shit with him on? Well, just another day, but a guy got fired from Twitter, and
shocking. What? A guy got fired from Twitter by Elon Musk? No way. He got
fired, and nobody would HR could not even verify if he was still an employee or not. And he's like, hey, Elon, I guess I'm going to try and talk to you on here because you won't respond to my emails. And Elon's response was just, what work are you doing? And basically said, it's okay, break an NDA. We'll talk about it openly here on Twitter. And it seemed very pompous and dumb and fucking shitty. Fuck that guy. Yeah. Burn it all to the ground.
I mean, I didn't see that because Twitter broke for a while today.
Yes, it did.
Because they only have one crisis engineer or whatever. Seems like things are going great over there.
Dude, that is one of the main sources of news information across the globe. Get it to fucking together. I can't believe the state that
he doesn't care
website's
about
in.
that. He only cares about
Memes.
the memes and his own engagement.
He's the fucking man-child.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta tell you though.
Of course you hate him. You work for the other guy. You're the enemy now.
I will say I am very bummed that I could not find a fucking replacement.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of potential ones, and I think it's still early. I think Twitter needs to fuck up more and bigger,
yeah,
before you get enough people to say, okay, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah.
And once they finally do, I think it'll be good that I think it's good that we already have a set number of places that we've built pages for.
Same.
So we can just say, okay, you know what? We're all going to co-host, or we're all going to, what's the one you used? Hive?
I tried Hive. Yeah.
Yeah. Did they ever make that less
I think it's
terrible?
fixed, but it's still like a baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Sure. I mean, they're all babies at this point, because like even Twitter is still a baby in some sense.
Yeah.
They certainly haven't figured their shit out, and now they're backpedaling to become even worse. Oh, the spider shrine. Jiggy would love it here. He loves spiders.
Yeah. I think I should have went the other way, but we're gonna fight some spiders. I do not like spiders.
Yeah, I'm not a huge spider fan. I have I've probably talked about it on the show at some point, but I have this kind of unspoken agreement with spiders in my home. I know that they do good things. They kill worse bugs, but also the agreement is if I see you, you're dead.
Yeah.
If I don't see you, have the run of the house. Do the things that you need to do. Do your little spiders thing. But if you come into my field of view, you have broken the agreement, and you must
forget
die.
about it. I'm with you, dude.
I killed the spider today. I was walking into my house, and it kind of tried to follow me in from the outside. No, what are you doing here?
You know the rules.
He's gone now. He's in the ground.
I have picked up the task in this household of taking out all the bugs, as my wife has crippling fear of spiders. Like, she can't even look at pictures of them. The only time I felt slightly that way of like, ew boy, like I can't even look at this thing, was playing Grounded. Grounded was, I mean, that was rough with spiders.
I mean, I don't love. I actually think looking at photos of spiders is worse than seeing a spider in real life, because having it so small in real life that you're not really picking up on all of the individual features of it. I'm like, okay, it's just like a little scurrying black dot. Cool, whatever. I'll kill it. It's done. But when you when you look up close and you see their furry little fucked up faces and their fangs, and you go, oh, that's what that thing is? Absolutely not. That's no.
Are they classifiable as a predator?
I mean, yeah.
Like they hunt, right? Like.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well,
they have like their
they trap.
Yeah.
They trap. Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you what I think is scarier than a spider. Like, if I had like if there was like a human-sized version of an insect, I think a praying mantis would be far more terrifying.
Well, I mean, yes, I get that. They've got fucking scythes on their hands.
Yes, they make for a cool Pokemon. They make for a hell of a.
Yeah.
All right, we got a big fight coming up here. Big jumbo spider. Can I hook him? Cannot hook. God, I think. Oh boy, but maybe I can hook the little one. Fight spiders.
All right, what's your favorite bug? What's a bug you like?
A bug that I like?
Yeah, I'm not saying you have to like it, like you have to have one as a pet or something, but like, what's just one you think is cool?
I like caterpillar, like fuzzy caterpillars.
Okay, sure. Like the brown and black ones.
Yeah, I don't mind them that much, and I like ladybugs.
Sure. Yeah. Those are very good ones. They eat the aphids.
Mm-hmm.
ask me everything I know about ladybugs. They eat aphids, and that's it. That's the only
all
thing
of it
I know. I couldn't even really tell you what an aphid is, other than like, oh, they're the ones that eat the leaves on things and make things look terrible. So the ladybugs eat those things, so the leaves look better. That's like from the kindergarten book on ladybugs I read.
Fair.
Cheeky says mayfly or mantifly, not mayfly. That's a different bug. Mantifly. I don't even know what a mantifly is. Am I gonna like this?
I don't think that doesn't sound like something that we would like.
I mean, manted lacewing. Looks like kind of like a wasp. Oh god, it's like a wasp and a praying mantis had a baby.
What?
It's got like a stinger, but it also has the scythe hands.
No.
Yeah, that seems fucked. I don't need to hear about that.
I'm gonna do one more run, by the way.
Okay, yeah, go for it, man.
We'll see how this goes.
Where the fuck are the? Oh, they don't sting. That's very nice, but when I see one like that, I'm going to think it's going to murder me. I want to know where these things. Where do these things show up, Jiggy? Where would you
I'm gonna
these
guess
things?
Australia.
Well, sure, that's where all hell monsters go to live. But
Yes.
I mean, I'm not gonna run into one in Missouri, right?
Well, that's the thing. They don't want you to think that, but you never know.
Oh, Jiggy said he's seen one in his backyard. I'm never going to Boston ever again.
They probably live in the ocean. For you and for chat,
Yeah.
up to a 10 being an absolute, without a shadow of a doubt, is a real thing. Okay? 1 is no way, never, not happening.
Okay. Yeah.
Sasquatch.
That's maybe a 2, but like it's a 1.
Okay. Sasquatch is a 1.
Sasquatch is 1.
What about the Abominable Snowman?
I put that basically in the same category. That's also a 1.
Is it a 1 above the 1 or a 1 below the 1?
I think they're the same thing. Like
Okay.
what? It's fair. It's a snow Sasquatch. Yetis, Sasquatch, like it's the same. It's the same thing to me. They are both equally 1.
Okay. The Loch Ness Monster.
I mean, I bet there's a bigger fish in there somewhere.
Okay.
So I guess I'll say like a 3. But I think there's no fucking Nessie.
Okay.
Like it is not one of those it's not a plesiosaur. But I bet there's like a big fish in there that somebody saw and went, oh, that might be a thing.
Jiggy says 1. All right, so 1 and 2 so far. All right, Nessie is a 2.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump a little bit here. What about ghosts? Or I guess let's say spirits.
Yeah, I mean,
Paranormal spirits.
I'm still going like a 1 on that. Like, here's the thing. There's a lot of weird phenomena that happens in the world.
Yes.
And some of those things are difficult to explain, or at the moment can't be explained. And I think you have people who will say, "Oh, well, that's ghosts," just to have an answer. Humans hate not having an answer to things. We like to categorize things. We like to know things. So,
or we like to at least think that we have an answer.
Yeah, I think you have a lot of people who, I mean, and that's what religion is, right? It's like,
yes,
hey, we don't know the answer,
that's what made me say that.
So we might as well like come up with some bullshit that, you know, makes us feel better that there's an answer to everything when there's just not an answer, and it's okay to not have an answer. So I'm saying there's no such thing as ghosts in the way people are saying there are ghosts. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna come back and haunt you or tell you how your Christmases have gone or anything like that, but I think there are certainly things that are out there that are difficult to explain, and calling them a ghost is easier than trying to find out the real reason.
Right,
so
yeah,
I'm still saying one. Nessie is still the closest thing I've heard to something real.
Okay, so 1 for Yetis, 2 for Nessies, 1 for ghosts.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay. Aliens.
10.
10. Absolute 10.
It is ridiculous to think that we are the only beings in the fucking universe.
10. Now,
there's absolutely somebody out there galaxies away, and they have their own form of Twitch that they probably don't call Twitch, and they're streaming right now, and they're having this exact same conversation. The law of large numbers or whatever. There is no way. There is no way that we're the only sustainable life that can speak and think and have opposable thumbs or whatever the fuck. Like, absolutely, there is something out there that we would classify as aliens.
100%.
Now, are they coming here? Are we ever going to see them? Are they near our solar system? Probably not. We would have seen something more concrete by now. And don't give me any of this weather balloon bullshit photos of Area 51 garbage. Get that fucking shit right here.
Yeah.
They might even be things that we can't even fucking perceive, but they're absolutely aliens out there.
Agreed. Okay. Follow up to that. Did aliens create life on Earth as we know it?
No.
Okay.
What? No.
Like Prometheus type shit.
No.
Okay. Another question for you. Are we living in a simulation?
No, we're not living in a fucking simulation.
Okay. Fair. I don't think
the world is not poetic enough to be authored in such a way. Things are too fucking random.
Yeah.
To be living in a simulation. Get that out of here.
Okay, fair.
I do think it's fun though when you do have somebody talking, like somebody who's smarter than us, talking about simulations.
Sure.
That the idea that we'd be in one, like if there was such a thing as living in a simulation, we wouldn't know it even if we were in one.
Right.
Because that's kind of the point of a simulation. So if
Truman Show.
So either the simulation technology is so good that we're unable to see it from the quote unquote real life that we think we're in, or it's bullshit. And I'm pretty fucking sure it's bullshit. And it wouldn't matter anyway if it wasn't.
If simulations aren't real, how can cars and buses be in the same lane? And if I'm in my car, I can clearly reach across and touch the other door. But if I'm on a bus, there's a whole ass aisle. There's no way for me to touch the other side of it. But the fucking geoprism in front of the bus looks to be the same width as the bus that I'm on. What's happening? What's going on this bus?
They're not the same width, and there's also different dimensions to these things. The bus goes straight up and down from the sides. The car bends inward. It's not.
I'm telling you, man.
Oh my God.
There's some Felix the Cat shit going on in those school buses.
I'll tell you a couple things here. One, when I was a child, young child, and I went down to the Lake of the Ozarks.
Yes.
I was on a dock and I was fishing as a little kid with my little like purple and neon green fishing rod that couldn't catch shit. Why don't they make the whole plane out of black box? That's, it's just a good call. But I remember I was fishing. It was evening, and occasionally you'd see like a fish jump out of the water and then splash back in. And I swear I saw what looked like a fucking serpent, like not a snake, like this thing. Like I was looking over here and I started to hear something, and I turn and look in the water, and I'm seeing like this cylindrical shape, this scaly, like iridescent scaly looking thing, like breach out of the water. Like it was half in and half out, and then I just saw it like come out and then go back in. I swear I saw that as a child. I don't know what I saw.
Water's creepy, dude.
Water's especially creepy. Fucking lake. It's dark. It's a dark piece of water. So I'm sure I saw nothing. Maybe it's something I've made up. No, Jiggy, it wasn't an eel. It was big. It had to be huge. Like that's the only time I was like, maybe that Loch Ness Monster thing is not a joke, because I think I saw something like that. It could be like a dream that I had that I have just thought about so many times that I've convinced myself it's real. But whatever, that's some bullshit. Also, I forgot the second thing.
Follow-up question.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you think that there's alternate timelines to the one that we're in right now?
I mean, no.
Like from a time perspective, do you think that we can manipulate time?
No. I think it's fun to think about. I think it's a fun premise for a movie or a TV show. I love time travel stuff. Sure. I think it's really fun. It's a fun thought experiment. You have like a human condition kind of thing, where we are filled with regret for the things that we didn't do or did do, and more often the things we didn't do. And the idea of a piece of fiction letting you go back and experience those things again so you can do it right this time, only to learn that doing it right actually fucks up something later, and you should just be happy with your own life. That's what every single time travel story is about. Yeah. And it's great. It's a great story. It's a great idea for a story, but no. Yep. Fair. Can't go back in time.
Well, I appreciate you entertaining my weird brain on all this stuff, and Jiggy as well.
Yes. It's a fun time.
It is a fun time. And if you like fun times, we have I watched the shit out of that movie in the early 2000s.
I've never seen it.
It's fine. I mean, I remember it being fine.
Yeah, I bet.
So we've got a little bit of an adjusted week. Johnny's going to be out of town this weekend. I've got a lot of family stuff going on. Good stuff. We got a milestone birthday for my aunt to celebrate. So I'm going to take Friday off. So we've got a shorter week, but we do have Patch Quest, not only tonight, but also that quick look we talked about of this game going up on Thursday. So if you've watched this tonight, there wasn't a whole lot of commentary on like what the game was doing or why I was doing what it was, but we'll have that quick look up on Thursday. But Chase finally showed me a game that I've been itching to check out, and we'll probably end up picking up because it's a game that came out this year, A Space for the Unbound. And we'll have a quick look go up tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central on our YouTube channel, which you can follow along with that over there on our channel. And actually, I need to update this. We have a Linktree website. Jiggy, it's Linktree/The Casual Hour. You should go check it out. Let me know your thoughts. We try to make it pretty easy to zoom in on whatever our content is. And we had this moment the other night, Chase and I did, where for the longest time we just called ourselves a podcast. And I think at the end of the day, that's what we are. But we're doing a lot more than just podcasting, and we have been now for pretty steadily for a year. with quick looks, streams now, and our podcast. So Chase wrote up some new stuff for us. We're going to incorporate that into our little tag here, but we got a link tree that makes it easier to get to the spot you went to for us. And I'm excited about that. That's really cool. We're going to try and categorize stuff and make it a bit easier for folks to follow along. So a little update there. And Wednesday night, speaking about being a podcast, we'll be live with episode 315. So what you've been playing, some news and some fun games to talk about. I've already talked about Patch Quest. Let's talk about you, Chase. What do you got going on?
Sure. There's a relatively new episode of Pilot Program out on Blue Blazes, Oehono. That was a fun show. One of my favorite shows, obscure live action Japanese show. I was very surprised that Pierce ended up liking it as well, and we had a good discussion about it. Our next episode is going to be on the TV show Archer, and we're recording that this week. Fingers crossed, as long as everybody's schedules continue to stay the way they are. I'm excited to talk about that.
Archer?
Yeah. To give you a little preview, similar to kind of the way you talked about Waiting, or I talked about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think going back to a show that has gone on this long, and one that I remember watching in college, it feels weird, and it's not that it doesn't hold up. It's just a different thing. And I think I'm really interested to explore those feelings more with Pierce. As we discuss that, go to my link tree that's there, and you can find Pilot Program. Hopefully, if we get that recorded on Thursday, I'll have that up over the weekend. But yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about our next show after this one. Pierce has chosen a show that I have not watched, and I've always meant to. So excited to show that. I'm not going to say it here until we officially announce it, but that stuff's pretty cool. I've really been enjoying Pilot Program. Just this excuse to watch old TV shows, this excuse to go back to shows that I remember really liking, an excuse to try new things like The Boys. Even though I didn't end up really liking The Boys all that much, just having this excuse to check out these things has been really fun for me. And I'm starting to read stuff about TV now, and I read an article today about
TV Guide. George Costanza's TV Guide.
Yes, absolutely. I've just been reading TV Guide now. No. I was reading an article that was talking about trough TV. Have you ever heard this term yet, Bobby?
No.
Yeah. Well, so you've heard of peak TV, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is that we've passed the peak of peak TV. Maybe we passed it years ago, and we're just kind of on a slow decline. But now we are getting, or maybe are in, the trough of fewer scripted shows, more reality stuff, consolidation of big streaming platforms, the whole HBO's whole deal.
Yeah.
We are moving into a different era of television, whereas last year I think they said there were 599 scripted shows, which was up hugely over the year before. It's going to be a downturn this year. And I just think that stuff's interesting. It's interesting to think about. It's interesting to think about the ways that our media is changing. You've heard me talk about bringing it back to video game stuff. You've heard me talk about subscription services, or what was the Google one? Stadia. Jesus Christ, Stadia. I don't even remember what Stadia is. And even some of the criticisms we've had about Game Pass, where it's a cool deal, or it's a great prospect of an idea, but you are at the mercy of these corporations to continue to decide whether you can enjoy this thing or not, and they can just say, nah, it's not worth it to pay for that anymore, so we're just going to take it off. And then what do you do? There are shows on Netflix, there are shows that were on HBO Max that are gone now, and they didn't get DVD releases, so they're just gone unless you pirate them or find them through some other unsavory formats. But if you are trying to just play by the rules, there's just some stuff that you can't access anymore. And that's it. You have no recourse. And I think that's fucked.
Preservation is a big deal.
Yeah, it's always mattered to me. It's always mattered that you can continue to watch these things or play these things or read these things. I just think it's really important. You see around the world, around the country right now, where maybe in the southeast part of the country, maybe specifically the most southeastern point of the country, is dealing with some media being taken away from people or having to be reapproved. And it just makes me think about, I don't think I'm an information needs to be free kind of guy, but I think I'm like like a step below that, where just we need to be able to have access to this stuff. Anyway, that's all to say. I think that Pilot Program has been a really fun way for us to talk more about that stuff. We did our episode of In Living Color and talked about that as well, of like that show doesn't exist on DVD in a very functional way because any music and stuff has been stripped out of it. It's not on a streaming service currently, but somebody did upload every single episode to YouTube, which is the best / maybe the only way to watch that show anymore. And it's in kind of a crap resolution, but it's the only way you can really watch that show. And so that's how you kind of have to deal with it. I just think that stuff's interesting. So
yeah,
you'll hear conversations like that on Pilot Program, and go check that out. It's been really fun.
Do you have a cadence yet, or is it just kind of when you get
to it? It's kind of been all over the place. We've at least done once a month so far, but it's not on any specific deadline or on any specific day that we put out episodes. And then this one I think is going up faster than most because Pierce has PAX East happening. He works for ReedPop. So they're about to get ready for PAX East. So Jiggy, heads up, he's coming to your area real soon. So we're trying to get this one out so then he can take a longer break for that stuff, and then we'll come back with another episode once he's ready.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Chase, this has been a lot of fun. Thanks for the little sneak peek into Pilot Programming. We'll be live again on Wednesday night with Johnny, and we'll have that quick look going up tomorrow. Jiggy, thank you for stopping by. We'll chat with you in the Discord. And we've got Mario Kart tracks dropping in 3 days.
Soon, right?
Yep.
Oh, it's okay. Shit, that's sooner than I thought.
Yeah,
nice.
I blame Johnny for us not having a Mario Kart stream this week. But we are going to find time this month, Jiggy, to get everybody together for those new tracks. So we'll get that ball rolling, and we'll be back live, like I said, Wednesday night. We'll chat with you all soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.